Welcome to Cryptocurrencies, the Future of Digital Money show at PortfolioWealthGlobal.com. My name is Michelle Holliday. Now, I want to stay with Bitcoin right now because we have something coming up in May. I think it's the 11th and 12th of May. That's a very big event. And I'd like you to explain what your prediction is. Will this affect Bitcoin? Because right now, everybody thought it was going to be fantastic. But seeing now as what the environment is that we're in, it might not even make a blip.
Put it this way. I think the halving has been talked about for such a long time that I would be surprised if it had much of an impact. I mean, probably people might think I'm crazy, but I would be very surprised if it had such a massive impact on the price that everyone thinks it is, purely because I think there's such an expectation of it already. You might argue that's already been priced in, it's already been absorbed into the price. Don't get me wrong here. I think there'll be some volatility. There will be some intraday volatility when the halving occurs. Maybe we'll see some pullbacks possibly on the day. I don't know if the pullback, I don't know which direction it's going to go though. That's the big question because nobody can predict that. Is it going to be a volatility upward? But put it this way, I don't think it's going to have much of an impact in the long term. I just think it's going to be some kind of volatility on the day, but otherwise the trend, I don't think it's going to affect the trend that much. The trend is up in my opinion. The trend in Bitcoin and these cryptos are up at the moment. So I would much rather focus on that. Put it this way, if the halving causes the Bitcoin price to drop, which I don't think, I don't know if it's going to do that, but if it does, if it has an impact for it to drop down, let's say to a support level, I would use that as a buying opportunity personally. On the other hand, if the halving causes a spike in the price, I would use it as an opportunity to short Bitcoin. So I would just take the contrarian perspective on that. So what I would say is, my perspective is, I wouldn't take any position on the halving right now. It's impossible to predict which direction it's going to go at the moment. I think the trend is up. So therefore, what I would do is, if it were to spike down, if it were to drop down, let's say to support level, like let's say if it were to spike down to 5,800, let's say, or the 6,000 levels, I would use it as a buying opportunity with a stop loss, obviously.
Right, because it's been so publicized, it's so anticipated, it's priced in already.
And I think, look, I mean, one thing I've learned is that often when everybody's expecting the same sort of outcome, usually the opposite happens. And usually when an event is so widely known and expected, there are traders already positioning themselves for this halving. They've been doing it maybe even recently, maybe even doing it for the last few weeks and months. So whatever people think is going to happen on this halving, just remember, there are people, the big money traders have already been planning for this halving. So they've probably been positioning themselves already. So a lot of it's been absorbed in the price. But look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe something will happen. But it'll be interesting to see.
Right. It's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We're along for the ride.
Sure.
Now, Alessio, I want to get a price prediction from you. What do you see Bitcoin doing this year and in this new decade of the 2020s? What do you foresee?
2020. It's a very good question. I would say this: as long as Bitcoin remains above 5,800, which is a key support level, I remain bullish. So as long as Bitcoin can protect that level, not fall below it, I would say I'm a bull on Bitcoin. So I think that Bitcoin probably will be targeting, by the end of the year, I think we could see above 10,000 on Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised even if it eventually went, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's going to be a straight move. I don't think it's going to be like a nice, steady ride. It's not going to be like that at all. But I do think we're going to see some kind of a retracement, some kind of sideways action. But all I would say is this: because the majority view right now is so bearish on the financial market, the stock market, and also Bitcoin, I'm happy to take the contrarian perspective. And I would say that my prediction for the end of the year by 2020 is very likely will be above 10,000. If I was to make a guess as to where, I would say between the 10,000 to 12,000 level. I wish I could be more bullish than that. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can be. The reason is that I think there's still a bit of uncertainties. Put it this way: the correlation with Bitcoin and the stock market is going to be important. I think I could comfortably say that we'll be above. I think we'll go back into an uptrend or a bull market in Bitcoin, very likely by the end of this year. And I think that we will be in the 10,000 to 12,000 range by the end of the year as well. Some people may see that. Some people who are watching this video might think I'm being a bit too conservative, maybe a bit too bearish. They might think, come on, man, we'll do 15K, 20K by the end of the year. I'm not that confident. Let's just keep it one step at a time. I'm a believer in Bayesian probability. Look, once we get above 10K, then we can discuss 15K, 20K. So I wouldn't count my chickens just yet. Let's wait for Bitcoin to get above 10K, which I think we will do. Once we're above 10K, then we'll probably have another pullback, and then we can move up to 12K. Once we get above 15K, then we can sit down and talk about 20K. But I don't think we're going to be in 20K this year. No, 15K possibly, but I think I'm more comfortable with a 10K to 12K prediction.
That's still very good. That's a very stable investment.
Yeah, but let me just state one more time. As long as Bitcoin remains above 5,800, if it falls below 5,800, you can ignore what I just said. So, because below that level, very likely we'll be going back down to the lows of March. So, I'm mentioning that because it's making predictions and making calls is not a one and done deal thing. Mm-hmm. You've got to look at your key levels. So the way I'm looking at it right now is keeping it simple. As long as we're above support, I'm a bull. If it falls below support, I'll change my mind and I'll have to become a bear. But I'm remaining a bull for the moment.
Okay, great. And the 58 level is where once it drops below that, it's an indication that confidence is going away fast and you probably should get out at the moment, right? Okay. I
would have my stop loss about there. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So.